from the Lakeside Newsroom of the Henrico Citizen, your hometown news source since 2001. This is the Henrico News Minute with publisher Tom Lapis.
Another delay for in-person learning, and the reasoning is disputed. We'll have details about that story and others in today's Henrico News Minute for Wednesday, January 13th, 2021. It's brought to you today by Henrico County.
And now for the news.
Henrico students who chose to return to school in person will have to wait a few more weeks to do so, following yesterday's announcement from Superintendent Amy Cashwell that a return for all grade levels would be delayed indefinitely, perhaps as long as to the end of next month. Now, there appears to be some dispute about why that is the case. In her email to staff members and stakeholders yesterday, Cashwell indicated that the cause for the delay this time was the fact that school nurses are being mobilized to help participate in mass vaccinations for Phase 1B, which begins today in Henrico. But several hours after her email yesterday, two Henrico supervisors disputed that rationale at their Board of Supervisors meeting. Brooklyn District Supervisor Dan Schmidt, who last night was elected chair of the board, said, quote, "Folks need to understand that we're thankful that our school nurses are willing and able to assist with vaccination support, but the nurses helping with vaccination is not the reason schools will not be ready to be open on the 25th. Please know that," end quote. Schmidt instead said that the agreement between the county and its school system calls for school nurses to assist with vaccination efforts outside of their contractually obligated hours with the school system, adding, quote, "and we are thankful for that assistance," end quote. But Schmidt said that with the percent positivity that the county is experiencing and workload with vaccinations, it's unlikely that schools would have been prepared to open on January 25th, even with all of their nurses. That was the day that elementary school students were scheduled to begin returning. Secondary school students would have returned the following week. Now everyone will be delayed until the vaccination effort is complete. Even as Schmidt and Three-Chop Supervisor Tommy Brannon challenged Cashwell's rationale, they did so in a malice-free tone. Schmidt even praised Cashwell's cooperation and flexibility, saying, quote, "The work, the balancing, the decisions that Dr. Cashwell has to make are difficult on a daily level," end quote. Brannon thanked School Board Chair Roscoe Cooper, who he said had called him and Schmidt prior to yesterday's meeting. Brannon said, quote, "I want to personally thank Roscoe for reaching out to clarify to me and to the Vice Chair that the misstatement that us using nurses out of their standard work hours was the reason for schools to be closing," end quote. Henrico County today begins the second phase of COVID-19 vaccinations. That's according to Henrico Health Director Danny Avula, who told the county's Board of Supervisors as much during its meeting last night. The Henrico and Richmond Health Districts, which Avula leads and which operate jointly in many respects, intend to hold 8 1,000-person vaccination events next week, including 4 at Richmond Raceway, according to Avula. He said the two districts essentially have completed the first phase of vaccination, having vaccinated about 35,000 healthcare workers, long-term care residents, and long-term care employees in Richmond and Henrico. That's significantly more than the 11,400 residents from the two localities shown as being vaccinated so far on the Virginia Department of Health's vaccine dashboard. Phase 1B prioritizes people 75 and older, as well as frontline workers, including police and fire officials, teachers, grocery store workers, transit employees, and others. Now, the VDH ranked those employee groups in order of prioritization from 1 to 9 within the phase, but last week, Governor Northam and other state officials said that local health districts will have flexibility to jump some groups ahead of others if doing so means vaccinating more people faster. Yesterday, the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar urged states to make the vaccine available to all those 65 and older as soon as possible. Avula said he wasn't sure yet whether that was simply advice or a mandate. Health district officials intend to reach out directly to as many of those who are eligible for vaccinations in this second phase as possible, but that could prove challenging, according to Avula, when it comes to reaching some older residents who may not have email or use the internet regularly. The VDH does have a COVID vaccination page online that you can visit to learn more about when you'll be eligible for the vaccine. We've got a link to it on our website, henricocitizen.com, if you look for this article under Government. Yesterday, Henrico witnessed its second straight day with declining new COVID-19 case counts, reporting 171 new cases, down from 188 Monday and 206 Sunday. The county is now averaging 200 new daily cases during the most recent 7-day period. There were also 4 new virus-related deaths in the county reported yesterday, as well as 3 new hospitalizations. In total, 7 new deaths have been reported since Saturday, 1 a person in his or her 40s, 1 in his or her 70s, and 5 80 or older. 17 more cases of COVID-19 have been reported at 14 Henrico schools and facilities since January 7th, according to the school system. The new cases included 2 each at Freeman High School, Ratcliffe Elementary School, and Dumbarton Elementary School. Only one of those 6 cases, the second one at Dumbarton, involved someone who was last in the building this month. The new batch of cases also included the first ones to be reported at Cackley Elementary and Glen Lee Elementary since the school system began tracking cases August 12th. During that time, there have now been 176 confirmed cases at 65 school system facilities. Registration is now open for winter and spring art classes for all ages and abilities at the Cultural Arts Center at Glen Allen, with classes starting at $25 apiece. For details, registration, and to see a class brochure, you can visit artsglenallen.com or call 261-ARTS. Henrico's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Commemoration Association will hold its 35th commemorative celebration to honor King and his legacy. It'll feature Congressman Donald McEachin as keynote speaker and will take place virtually at 11:30 a.m. January 18th. The event will be streamed on the nonprofit organization's Facebook and YouTube platforms. It also will recognize recipients of the Lights of Hope and Distinguished Community Service Awards, as well as the Keepers of the Dream Scholarship. Today's Henrico News Minute is brought to you by Henrico County's COVID-19 Municipal Utility Relief Program. The program provides assistance for delinquent bills between March 1st and December 30th of last year. You can visit henrico.us to learn more and to apply by January 22nd.